Okay, so let's look at how we do a spreadsheet to do calculations. Okay, so got one here, and it's this is the in-class version. So we're going to make a copy of this. And so we put our magic number here, and let's say we start with a friendly number 10. Okay. Calculate your number plus 1. So, and you see here we've got 2 decimal places, so I go up here and I get rid of the decimal places. Let's do that for the whole column. Okay. And so look at this and we say, we could just write an 11 in here and calculate your number. If our number is 10, you could do 10 minus 1 is 9. But then you decide, well, you know, 10 is a little grand for me. I'm going to do 5. And when you do 5, your number plus 1 doesn't change to 6. That's because you wrote in the number. And so the way that we avoid that is we say, let's just refer to this place all the time by its cell name. And its cell name is, I'm in column B, I'm in row 3. And so instead of saying, oh, I have 10 there, so I'm going to look at it, and you deciding I'm going to do 10 plus 1, you just ask the spreadsheet to do it. So you say, I want whatever's in this row 4, calculate your number plus 1, to look at what's in my magic number, which is B3, and add 1 to it. Okay. So you'll see the magic of this in a second. So we say that. And then let's just look at the next one. Okay, so we have a 9 there, even want it to be a 4, because we want it to be our magic number, our favorite number, minus 1. So we say, let's do the same thing. We say, spreadsheet, look at what's in that cell B3, and the spreadsheet highlights that for us, minus 1. Okay, so now we do that, and you see. Now, here's a case where you see the suggested autofill doesn't really work. Okay, so double your number and all that. So the spreadsheet thinks it's got a pattern, but in this case, the autofill is not what we want. Okay, now what if we go back to 10? So if we go to 10, now the spreadsheet says, oh, I see, you've changed your number, and so I'll do all the calculations now based on 10 instead of 5. Okay? And you could change it, in fact, to a nice prime number like 17, and then you get 18 and 16. Okay? So calculate double your number. So that there's a couple ways to do that. So you could say equals B3 plus B3, just that number twice. Okay? But a lot of people would do it this way. They'd say, take the number times 2. Calculate half your number. So you'd say, well, I can just go back to that B3 and I divide /2, and I get 9. Now you'll say, why did I get 9? Right. And you'll see, well, 17 divided by 8.5, and it's rounded up. Okay. And let's see if we add a decimal point and see what happens. If we say, okay, well, what about if we use decimal points? Then you see, oh, well, it did 8.5. So there you see the spreadsheet will round for you. Calculate your number, double your number, plus 1. Okay, so we're going to take what's in B3, we'll multiply by 2, 17 times 2, and then we'll add 1 to that, and we'll get 35. Triple your number, minus 1. Okay, so just more. Triple would be times 3 minus 1, get 50. Calculate double the quantity of your number minus 1. So double the quantity says of the quantity of your number minus 1. So what we're going to do is let's do this. So one way, it isn't exactly clear, right? So our number minus 1, and we're going to double that. Okay, so that's one way to interpret it. Okay, so 30. So our number minus 1 is 16, and then we double it. So triple the quantity, your number plus 2. So we're going to read that to mean, and this isn't as if it's could only be interpreted this way, but we're going to take our number plus 2, and we're going to triple that. Okay, so that would be the way I wanted that to be, but I wouldn't say the language came out entirely clear. So we add 2 to our number, 19. 3 times 19 is 57. Calculate your number to the 3rd power. So it turns out that there is, so if you write power, P-O, and you say, oh, look at it, there's P. And then look at, you can even do P-O-W for short. And we're going to raise our number. So we're going to take whatever's in B3, and we're going to raise it to the 3rd power. So we say, take what's in B3. So we're telling this command power 2 things. Look in B3, there's the number to use, and then raise it to 3rd power. Okay, could you do B3 times B3 times B3? You could, right, and that would work. So if I put that next to it, I could say equals B3 times B3 times B3. Let's see what we get. We get the same amount. Okay, calculate your number to the fourth power and then subtract 1. Okay, so we say, oh, we know how to do this power thing. So we're going to take B3 to the fourth power, and then we're going to subtract 1. Okay. Now, if you insisted, you could have done B3 times B3 times B3 times B3, but you can see it, eventually that gets tiresome, and you get the same answer.